Hello there, everyone. It's Danny here from Pioneer Wellbeing. So, welcome today. I'd really love to welcome Brad Baker, who's from Healthy Life Essentials. He's kindly joining us today to talk about his profession as a health coach and to talk about the Tolman Techniques. So, over to you, Brad. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks very much, Danny. And yeah, thanks very much for the invitation.
Wonderful. Now, why don't you give us a little bit of a background about yourself and tell us how you well, bit of your history and where you are today, I guess, with what you're doing right now.
Yep. So, long story short, cast the mind back to 2015. I was working as a diesel fitter, uh, in and out of the mines, in and out of cattle stations, fixing anything from a whippersnipper to a 600 or 800 ton excavator.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay.
so I was all over the place. Um, but in the process of doing that, I get an email one night because it's the only way we could communicate with home was via email. And this email said, "Hey, from the wife, I've just had a miscarriage."
Oh,
Mm,
wow.
okay. So home the next day, and we went through the process there.
Mm.
But I needed to know why. Why did that miscarriage happen? And we went through the normal channels, and we didn't get much information. It was just pointing us down the road of, maybe next time try IVF and that sort of thing. That wasn't the answer I was looking for. I'm like, no, what caused that miscarriage? So
Mm.
we did some searching and we found an iridologist that within 15 minutes, she picked both of our personalities to a T.
Wow.
And, and she's indicated, hey, look, no, that miscarriage was more than likely my fault because I had a body full of heavy metals and a digestive system that wasn't working properly. I had no idea that that was the case. Very rarely had a day off work. I always felt like I had plenty of energy, but little did I know what was coming in the future. Um, so yeah, we made the changes that were recommended to us at the time, and it didn't take too long to realize, hey, something's working here. I'm feeling really good. I've got more energy than what I had before, and it was about 8 months later that we went and revisited, and we had the go ahead from this lady to try again for another bub, which we did. And yeah, this time it was, yeah, not a problem. Everything just fell into place.
Fantastic. So, how long did it take? Because you no longer work as a diesel fitter in the mining industry or in various industries. So, how long did it take for did you over that time frame still continue working or
Yes,
what was,
yes,
yeah?
yes, yes. So still on the tools as such.
Yeah.
Still doing my normal daily activities. Um, but as time got on and new bub had turned up and she was born healthy and everything. It's like,
Fantastic.
and my energy levels just kept creeping up and up and up and up. It's like, man, I really need to share this with people. This is awesome.
Mm.
And then along the journey, I started looking for more information, which led me to the Tolman methods and Tyler and Don, his dad, both sharing the same sort of message. And that just elevated my um, lifestyle and energy next level. Um, and Tyler especially included the iridology, which I was totally astounded by from that first consultation. So it's like, this is it. This is what I need to be sharing with people. So
Wow.
so then yeah, here I am now. So um, sharing the same stuff that has changed my life. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And how long did it take for you to actually learn these techniques and where did you study?
Yep. So Tyler ran a series of online courses. You could go in person, but Tyler's located in Bali at present. So
Hmm.
um, it was
Lucky,
over.
lucky, lucky guy.
Yeah, it certainly is. Certainly is. But it was all very accessible, all sort of from home. The biggest component was just the time and attention.
Mm.
So I had to wind back the work on the machinery and allow myself the time to go boots and all into the study, but it was a little bit over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So, but it's paced at your own pace. But yeah, I really wanted to immerse myself in it and get and test everything for myself. I'd already done that years before, so I'll never recommend anything to anyone that I haven't tried myself. So there's a whole plethora of strategies and methodologies that we can do to help people. And when something doesn't work for someone, we can suggest this instead. So I've been down that avenue. I've tested all the things that I can and know that they work for myself. So I can confidently say to someone, yeah, you should get a good outcome from this.
And
So
your wife or your partner and daughter, do they also oh well, I guess as a family you all practice and you all eat healthily and you're all along that same pathway as well?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. And yeah, the change in energy levels is unbelievable when we eat as we should. Yeah. And bring everything back to simplicity so that there's so much complexity out in the world and so confusing that yeah, the answer lies in simplicity. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, do you want to just maybe talk us through I guess like a session, like what's actually involved in a session when someone actually books in with you? What can they expect, I guess, or what's the process from where to go once they find you, which they'll be
Yep.
able to find you. I'll put the link to your Facebook page and everything in the description below the video. But why don't you just talk us through what someone can expect for a session with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, normal process is we'll make an online booking. On the booking form, it's a general questionnaire, same as what you'd find at any other health professional, a bit of a background, what medications and supplements and stuff you're taking, health concerns you've got.
Mm.
And that gives me a little bit of a feel for what we're going into. And then yeah, we have a face-to-face or we have an online consultation. Yeah, we'll sit down, have a discussion, take some eye photos. So we'll have a look at the iris, so the coloured part of your eye, and the sclera, the white part of the eye. Totally non-invasive. The worst you'll ever get is a little bit of blurry eye for a minute or two afterwards because there are two LED lights in the camera. But yeah, from that we can see everything that's basically going on in the body. So the eyes are linked to every organ, every tissue in the body, and we can see the state of the digestive system, the state of certain organs, and congestion and toxicity and deficiency, and we can look generations back as well. So sometimes it's 3 or 4 generations back.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And to learn how to read that, like, did it take you a while to learn those techniques for on particular eyes? And yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we go through a process when we're training that, yeah, we get practice people in and people that are willing to be, yeah, test pilots, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they come in and we discuss it and go through it. And in the training, we do a lot of training online too. So we're doing consultations with people online and looking at their things and then double checking with our teachers. And yeah, so um, it's not that involved, but it is, so to speak. So
Yeah.
if it's something that you've got a real big interest in, like I have, it was all just a walk in the park. Like it was very enjoyable. Uh,
Fantastic.
yeah, yeah. But the insights are just incredible.
And so once you look at someone's eye and you see the different things that are apparent with the organs, do you want to, because you have done a bit of a session with me, are we okay to maybe share like just it will share the picture of my eye and
Yep.
then you can just give a quick overview of where certain things are and if that's oh you're okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Um,
So let me just
so you've got it there.
yep. All right. Okay, so that's one of the pictures that um, Yeah. So do you want to just give us like a brief, just a you can see that I've got some mascara on there, which is probably not the greatest thing for my eyes, but do you want to just maybe take us through just a brief like snapshot of what we're looking at here, and what
Yep,
you can just see just from my one of my eyes.
yep, yep. So yeah, we're basically looking at a life story, but to simplify it, beautiful blue eye to start with.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
there's
Thanks.
there's three eye colors. So you got blue, brown, which you see in African, Indonesians, um, yeah, those sort of nationalities.
Hmm.
And then you got a biliary, so it's a mix between blue and brown. So yeah, to zoom in on your eye, um, if you look at the pupil and then come down and to the left just a little,
Hmm.
yeah, so come,
Like
it'll be
this.
to you. Yeah, yep. So just up a little bit and you see those like a teardrop. There's like two, almost three teardrops there.
Yeah.
They're called lacunas. So a lacuna is a genetic weakness. So that's something that's been passed on to you.
And
So
and in and a that particular area is for some particular part of my body, like an organ or something like that, or is it something
yes,
different?
yes, yes. So we got reproductive, and we've got could be gallbladder too. So this is where we start the questioning process. So we ask the client, anything around these areas that you've had a history in at all, or yeah, and sometimes you'll get nothing. Sometimes, oh yeah, no, I've had a series of this, and this happen, and then okay, no worries. Then we can start looking into the emotional side of things. So it's like, okay, let's address the root cause now, and we run through a bit of a process there as well. If we get time in that first consultation, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And even say so from my eye, and you say that sometimes you can see the generational thing as well. So even for like my daughter,
yeah,
would I have passed it, like would she have something possibly a little bit similar to me if I've passed things through to her, like would be able to see that in her?
yeah, correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Wow.
Some if you in your lifetime, if you've processed that emotion that's been handed on to you, or that genetic trait, which is an emotion,
Mm.
um, if you've released that, worked on that, and released it, it won't show up in your daughter. But
Okay.
if you haven't, yeah, there's a chance that it will.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these little specks of, like brown and
Yep.
yellow and even the top there, what do little specks mean?
Yep. So the little specks there, soras, they're called,
Hmm.
little patches of toxicity.
Okay.
Once again, that could be yours or may not be yours. Um, just depends. See, there's a number of them on the iris, so there's a chance that some will be yours and some won't be.
Mm.
So when I say won't be, again, be passed on to you.
Hmm.
Um, the mark up the top,
This one up here.
yep. So that's a level of inflammation, and that's starting in the colon. So if you imagine the colon, you got stomach, small intestine, and then it leads into the large intestine or colon.
Hmm.
And that leads into, yeah, that's on the right side of the body. So then you got ascending colon, transverse colon,
Hmm.
where it goes from right to left. And that's showing, yeah, acidity in the transverse part of the colon.
So if you saw that, would you sort of recommend that I have a bit of a detox or a colonoscopy or something like
Yep,
that? Or
yep,
okay.
yep, yep. So yeah, Tyler, my teacher, he does a product called Colon Cleanse, and it's just all food based. There's nothing nasty in it. Um,
Hmm.
and that just goes through, starts pulling toxins and pesticides and heavy metals and stuff out of that area, and allows that stuff to be passed out through the bowels. Um,
Okay.
yeah, otherwise it's colonics. Colonics very good. Um, and you can see that color as it goes up to the top of the iris. So
Mm,
um, that's as you go further up the iris, it's moving into the brain area. So how we say about the gut being linked to the brain is very true.
mm,
So, so the first thing I'd say is brain fog happening, and um,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so we're like, okay, let's clean up and open up the channels of elimination for the body. So we'll clean that colon, we'll clean the skin. Skin's another area of elimination. We'll learn about breathing properly, and breathing's another way the body detoxes,
Mm.
and your water intake.
I
So
definitely need to drink more water, that's for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now
So
I might stop that. I'll stop that share now. So when you have like do you when you have the consultation with someone and you take the photos of their eye and you read that,
yeah,
then do you make the recommendations and then do you have follow-up? So like you have your first session, everything like that, and then say, do you have a follow-up in a week or a month or something, and then take more photos to see the differences? Is that,
yep,
yeah?
yeah. We can do. Normally we'll go consultation, and then we'll go, okay, give the person the choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to go away? I'll we'll basically pick three things to work on,
Hmm.
three main areas to work on in the body, three organs, and then we'll lay down the foods. There's very specific foods that are targeted to each area of the body. We'll put a range of foods down to support that. Essential oils, very powerful as well. So we'll the very targeted essential oils for depending on what the areas are on the body. Herbs as well, and we do a little mental affirmation as well. So we're working on the mental side of things, and what the mind's running all the time. So um, yeah, so that's the mental emotional, um, sort of scratch the surface there, but that's what we get
Yeah.
in the consult.
So you're
Um,
working on mind, body, and spirit. So you're working on all areas to see where there might be some blocks or some things that need
yeah,
change. Well, yeah, you need to change. Obviously, someone's coming to you because they're not well or they want to feel better, and you've mentioned before that you and your family you've experienced such an increase in energy, and I think that's everybody wants that, don't they? We all want more energy and to feel better, like to wake up in the morning and to feel energized.
absolutely, absolutely. And I believe it's our birthright to feel that way.
I do too. I believe that as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But yeah, the next course of action, if they really want to take it and get results without relying on their own discipline, is to engage the 3 months coaching.
mhm.
So yeah, basically come under our wing, and yeah, we'll run you through the process. We'll look at all the toxins that are in your life. We'll start putting things in place to get toxins out of your body, and we'll implement new dietary habits. And we might even go through a period of fasting, depending on what the goals are and where you're at. And then
Fasting is I think a really powerful tool, and it's we can anyone can do fasting, and I've tried it myself and do from time to time. I think I need to do it a bit more often, but I find fasting, our body needs time to rest and digest.
absolutely, yep,
So
absolutely.
if we're just constantly eating and drinking waters, but our body doesn't have time to rest and digest, does it? So
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
mm,
Even the Egyptians, the Essenes that thousands of years ago recognized that any more than 2 meals a day, and you're going to have problems. So yeah,
and
thousands.
our diet is meant to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a couple of snacks thrown in there as well. So we're just constantly eating. It's just
Yeah,
I don't think that's our natural. I don't think it's our natural way that we should be doing it, to be honest. So it sounds
yeah,
like you're along that same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Their blood sugars up and down like a roller coaster all day long, and yeah,
Mm,
people wondering why they're good 1 minute and then they're down on the floor the next, and they're good next minute and down on the floor the next. It's just, yeah, have a meal, let
yeah.
your body work on it. And most people don't recognize the difference between being hungry and thirsty. So a lot of the time, the body is sending a message to, hey, I need some more water. And the person will interpret that as, oh, no, I'm hungry.
Mm.
So it's, yeah, and so many ailments we overcome just from drinking more water. It's incredible.
Just flush out our system.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
Um, Now when that sounds like there's a lot involved in your sessions and um and what do you charge at the moment? So we're, the 17th of August, 2024. So anyone
yeah.
can be watching this at any time, in the future. But currently, what can someone expect to pay for a session with you?
Yep, yep. So a consultation is 250. So it's 250 Australian dollars.
Yep.
And yeah, like we said, we go through those iPhotos. Everyone gets their iPhotos sent to them. Um, I'll, the consultation takes around 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on what the person's got going on. Sometimes it can take a bit longer, which is
Mm.
fine. Um, yeah, and then I'll once the person's gone, I'll go through and I'll spend a couple of hours just looking at the eyes and picking the priority of what we need to address first, and then building a daily plan of how the person can integrate my recommendations to the hour. So it's not a regimented, you must do this every hour. It's just a reminder, a gentle
Mm-hmm.
reminder. Hey, at 11 o'clock, you need to drink another 250 mils of water. So yeah, a lot of people fall down on the water and they think they're drinking enough, but most aren't.
Yeah, I
So,
I
so we, yeah.
I
So
definitely agree with that. I think that I know I personally don't drink enough water, so having a reminder about that. But for you to actually have that in a plan for everyone, I think that's great. So it really has there is structure to it. So
yeah, 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 and it's yeah, basically everything we recommend is laid out for the weekdays when general people are working, and the weekend will look a little bit different. You might go and get some sun, go and get a colonic, go and get a massage. So it's yeah, and the meals are more relaxed. Don't stress out about making big fancy meals. Just yeah, take it as it comes, sort of thing. Um, but yeah, it's basically a roadmap for a brand new lifestyle and a lifestyle that can reverse disease.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. And can you just maybe, without, keeping in mind confidentiality, can you just give us a bit of an overview about, what would be a common question that someone would come to see you about, or what's a common ailment that people are coming to see you about?
Yep. Um, a common statement that I get when I tell people what I do is, "Oh, don't look at my eyes. I don't want to know." And,
Okay.
and it's like, well, that's okay. All I need to do is look at your face, and I can read what's going on with your face. But um, every single person has lymphatic problems.
Okay.
So for those that don't understand the lymphatic system, it's basically the sewage system for the body. So you've got, depends who you listen to, trillions and trillions of cells in the body, and they're all bathed in lymphatic fluid. So when the cell takes in the energy, it'll dump its waste in the lymphatic system, into
Hmm.
that fluid. And there's around 15 liters of lymphatic fluid in the body. So we need to be physically moving, or skin brush, that sort of thing, to move that fluid so it can drain into the colon and then exit the body. And through diet, incorrect diet and lifestyle, um, if there's a lot of meat in the diet, a lot of processed food in the diet, you'll end up with a lining in the colon, and that lymphatic fluid won't be able to drain now. So the drains will start backing up, just like they would in, say, a flood. And all of a sudden, boom, I've got organ problems. Oh, I've got liver problems, heart problems, all these things just because the system needs to be cleaned out.
Mm.
So yeah, it's something that everybody needs to incorporate is um, bringing more fiber into the diet, more water, more hydration. A lot of people don't understand that the water doesn't absorb until it's in the colon either. So if that colon's sitting there and it's dirty and it's full of junk, that's going to absorb back into your body when it takes the water as well. So naturally, you're going to feel secondhand. You're going to feel like rubbish. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
lots.
what about water as well? Like, do you find that, do you recommend like alkalized water, filtered water, just natural tap? Like, because sometimes I guess different parts of the world and or different, places, their water is a little bit not as great as others.
Yeah. Water's a huge problem now.
Mm.
Um, Town water, yeah, it's full of chlorine, so it's good to kill the bugs from the processing station to your house, but it's then going to kill the bugs in your digestive system. So
Mm.
we need filtering to remove that. Fluoride's certainly not a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're finding heavy metals, plastics, um, antibiotics, all sorts of things in there now. So um, yeah, the alkalizing waters, yeah, it's a bit of contention there at the moment because that plays with stomach acid.
Yeah, I've never tried it, but I see a lot of things online and people recommending it. I haven't tried it, so I wasn't sure
Yeah,
what your stance on was for
yeah.
alkalized water.
Probably at this stage where things are at is distilled water is probably the best thing, and
Mm.
then yeah, remineralized with a little bit of Himalayan salt or Celtic salt. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. So that's the sort of recommendation at this point in time. Yeah, it's an evolving thing, the water thing. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, can you recommend, obviously, it'd be great for people to come for a session with you, but people who want to maybe read up a little bit on Tolman techniques and things like, or what's involved in the principles. Actually, would you want to go through the principles briefly
yeah,
with
yeah,
us
yeah,
with
yeah.
us as
But
well? And then you've got them in the background.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we got 7 basic principles that we work on, which if you can get a handle on and do a bit each day, it's going to equate to a lot better health and disease prevention. And yeah, yeah, you'll end up rocking life basically if you can get a good handle on each of them every day. But
Hmm.
number one is air. Obviously, we can't live without air for too long. But learning how to breathe properly is very important.
Mm.
Most people just will expand the lungs and not expand the belly. Very important to engage that belly as such, or move the belly in and out, move that belly button in and out when you breathe. Very important.
Mm.
Um, Next one's water. So, like we said, filtered water, the right amounts, and mineralize it. So, mineralizing with salt is the best. Next one, sunshine. Everybody's scared of sunshine, and the biggest deficiency in the world, without by a long shot, is vitamin D.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
So we've got a process for cleaning the skin. So we clean the 7 layers of skin, and we get out in the sun,
Mm.
and that's going to allow the body to make vitamin D. There are other ways of doing it, but that's by far the most efficient way. But yeah, we clean that skin first. Otherwise, when we do go into the sun, if there's toxins in the skin, the sun will pull it out. When it comes to the surface, then it's alarm bells and it's nasty and it's all the rest of it. So very important to clean the skin first. Next one is whole foods. So we're using whole foods in their natural form, very little processing,
Mm.
um, which yeah, does away with any sort of herbicides, pesticides, whatever's added in the processing, um, um, yeah, manufacturing setups,
Mm.
um, and keeping to their live food principles. So we're eating fresh foods, which is full of life force. So if we want life and we want energy, we need to eat life and energy. So
That's right. That's
not
right.
not not death and destruction.
No.
Um, Next one is exercise. So yeah, we don't necessarily need to go to a gym and pull ourselves apart. It's walking and stretching. Actually, the longest lived cultures on the planet are walking 8 kilometers a day. that's something that's very common across all the little clusters of people that are averaging over 100 years in age. So yeah,
Yeah, I definitely I wanted to start sort of getting up a bit earlier, but we're just coming out of winter now and still at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's just a little bit too dark. But
yeah, yeah,
I really would I think that's how I'd love to start my day. So that's definitely something that I'm going to incorporate into my routine.
yep, yep. Next one is relationships. So relationships with significant other, family members,
Mm,
and most importantly yourself. So we're looking at the self-image. If we've got a relationship that's with significant other that's not as good as you'd like it to be, that's going to cause a lot of stress, which is going to equal a stress response in the body, which is going to basically divert all the blood away from the organs and have you in a state of fight or flight all the time. So um, that's not what we want. Meal times are wasted because you're not going to absorb the food like you should. So they're very important to be working on those relationships
that's
with
right. That's right.
with, with everyone and ourselves included.
Mm.
Um, last one is passion. So we're doing something in our lives that we feel is meaningful. Yeah.
That's
So
really important. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So when we're towards the end of our life, when we're sitting on the rocking chair and we're looking back over our life, we feel like we've accomplished something. Wasn't just a waste of time, or yeah, we're doing things that lit us up, and not things that we felt we had to do to keep someone else happy. Or yeah,
Mm. Yeah, we're here for a reason, and I think we need to obviously enjoy life, but we do have responsibilities as well. But we need to really be enjoying what we do, and yeah, I think that's really important as well. And
yeah,
going back to the relationships, like there's so many studies and that of people who are just really lonely, and yeah, it's really hard, like to it impacts on every part of your life
mm,
if
really
you
does.
don't have really strong relationships. And definitely with yourself, if
Yeah,
you can't sort of look in the mirror and say, I love you, I love myself,
mm,
like if we don't love ourselves, then we can't really be loving someone else.
true.
It's
It's
yeah,
true.
we really need to treat ourselves as well as we treat others, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
is really the
yeah,
message.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. And understanding the gift that we've been given, the gift of life, has cost us nothing,
that's right.
and we're living in a body that's just super intelligent,
Mm,
and
it
it's always giving us messages. Hey, this is something you need to work on, or yeah, it's always speaking to us. So we just need to be able to tune in and see what's going on.
That's right, and not ignore the triggers, and then it's too late, and then that's
But
it. That's when
exactly.
disease comes in. So,
Yep. Yep. Exactly right. Exactly
mm.
right. Yep.
All right. Now, I guess, lastly, is there any last messages that you would like to give people? And as I said before, like we will put links to how people can reach you and on social media. And maybe also we can even put your email address, but that's probably going to be on your social media stuff as well, how people can contact you and book in with you. And you do face to face as well as online, which so you
Yep.
can talk to anyone around the world, which is fantastic. But is there any sort of last tips or tricks or messages that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people they're always nervous or scared about what might come up, but um, yeah, always remind people that, and their focus might be what do I need to give up? What are the foods or whatever that I need to give up? And if I could give them a little snapshot or a feeling of how I feel, what I've gained out of doing this work, and how it feels to have a truly healthy body, I'd transfer it to them and let them feel it, but I can't. So it's the sort of thing you need to do the work first, then you get the reward.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, nothing will ever taste as good as healthy feels.
that's right.
So it's
That
it's
is right.
it's yeah. if I could give that feeling to someone to experience for a minute or two, yeah, they'd be hooked. But yeah, I can't. So it's like if you do that work, you're also energetically giving someone else a tap on the shoulder to do it too. So it's like, and this is how I strongly believe that this is what's going to improve the state of the planet.
Yeah,
Is
I
it,
agree. I agree. And
it's
and also being, a mentor, or being, the younger generations, our children and their children, if they see, they're looking to us for advice and support. So if they see how we are living, they'll just think that's normal. Whereas if they're going to just be going off and eating chips and lollies and, processed foods and thinking that that's normal, well, yeah.
yeah. And um, don't want to load the fathers up too much, but the kids are very influenced by what the father eats. So if the father does the right thing, it'll probably show in the kids. If the father does the wrong thing, same deal. But very, very important. Most people will do more for other people than they will themselves. So it's very important to be thinking, okay, well, um, obviously I don't want to set my child up for failure in life and physical ailments.
Mm.
I need to be given the right foods, because off those foods they're going to build a body. So yeah,
That's
super,
right.
super important to if you won't do it for yourself, do it for your kids.
Mm,
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
you'll both get the benefit. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Brad. I really appreciate your time today. And yeah, as I said, look in the description below for the way to contact Brad. And yeah, like the channel and keep updated with more interviews that I'm having with people who are health coaches and really trying to help people live their best life. So thank you so much.
yeah. Thanks, Danny. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.